Hey guys, Doug B here, your average axe-wielding hack. Now, just a couple days ago, FRACTAL released firmware 20.03 with a note that said, drive block improved, or drive block updated, I think it said. It should have said, warning, incoming. Yep, Cliff planted an Easter egg in this firmware. We now have the Klon amongst the list of types to use in the drive block. Now, I was just excited as everybody to get out there and try it. But then I quickly realized I might have to hold off for a little while. I don't know if any of you saw my note in the FRACTAL forum, but somehow last week I messed up my back bad. It feels like either a pinched nerve or a herniated disc. I couldn't hold the guitar for more than like a minute or so, and even just sitting in a chair for more than 10 minutes, just excruciating. But I was able to get to the spine and pain center, and they got x-rays done on me, got an MRI scheduled, and they gave me some really good painkillers. So I'm, back to it. The pain is gone, at least temporarily, and I'm able to hack away again. So hey, yay for me. But let's get back to that firmware release, okay? Now, as you can see, there was no mention of the clone at all in the release notes. But of course, somebody found it within minutes of the update being posted, so once again, the FRACTAL community is all excited. Now, the Klone is a killer and way expensive pedal these days. The original Klon Centaur Gold Horsey version that came out in the 90s for $279 now will run you at least $7,000. The silver non-horsey version from 20 years ago now goes for around $6,000. There's also the recent model, the KTR. It goes for around $700. In case you aren't familiar with the Klon, let me give you a little history on it. In the 1980s, Bill Finnegan played in a band where he plugged his Telecaster straight into a twin reverb, turned up as loud as the sound man would permit. In bigger Boston area clubs, the twins' volume would be usually at 6 or even 7. But in smaller places, Finnegan could usually turn it up to only 3.5 or 4. It still sounded good, but not as harmonically rich as when the amp was working harder. Although it didn't occur to him at the time, a pedal that would give him the sound of a cranked amp is exactly what he needed. Fast forward to 1994, when Finnegan released the Klon Centaur. As you can see from the attached invoice, the price was $279. The final selling price was $329, and approximately 8,000 Centaurs were hand-built by Finnegan on a cheap folding table in his various apartments in Boston for 15 years. The process was wearing him down, so in 2008 he began a complete redesign, and in 2012 he released the KTR. It was smaller than the Centaur, but it sounded the same, and retailed for $269. Finnegan released a statement in October 21 that the KTR would be available again directly from him. Used models on Reverb go for around $700. So why did FRACTAL choose the name Klone Chiron? Well, they haven't said, but here's what you find when you look up Chiron on the Encyclopedia Britannica website. Chiron in Greek mythology is one of the centaurs, the son of the titan Cronus and Philyra, an oceanid or sea nymph. Chiron lived at the foot of Mount Pelion in Thessaly. Unlike other centaurs, who were violent and savage, he was famous for his wisdom and knowledge of medicine. FRACTAL hasn't said which of the Klon models was modeled, but it's not supposed to make any difference, right? At least that's what Bill Finnegan says. Anyway, guys, I put together a preset that uses the Klone Chiron in the drive block. And it's just a another real simple preset. In block, out block, drive, amp, cab, and reverb. Now the drive block, I'm using the Klone Chiron. And as you can see, it just has two controls, gain and treble. But the level control is the same as the output control on the actual Klon pedal. So right now, I'm just going to leave this like this, and we'll go on to these other blocks, and then we'll come up and show you the setup. Now, a number of people who have tried this drive have said that they pair it with the Band Commander amp type, so we'll choose that amp. Now, the notes that Bill Finnegan provided said that the amp that is used should already have a bit of drive going on, so we're going to boost the gain from 5 to 7. Now, if we look at the speaker impedance curve for this amp, it's using a 2x12 double verb curve. So let's go to the cab block. And now in the cab block, what I did was I found two IRs that match the curve. Factory 1, number 957, a 2x12 double verb 57A, and that's panned hard left. And then Factory 1, number 982, a 2x12 double verb 160, 1 ml, and that's panned hard right. The reverb block is using the new Echo Room type, but I've taken the mix and knocked it from 20% down to 15%. Okay, now let's go back to the drive block. And what I did was I set up the gain, the treble, and the level controls to be controlled by scene controllers. Gain is controlled by scene controller 1, treble is controlled by scene controller 2, and level is controlled by scene controller 3. So then you click on controllers up here on the left. We go down here to scene controller 1 and 2, and scene controller 3 and 4. And here's the values that I came up with. These settings correspond to the gain, treble, and level controls on the Klone Chiron. But the scenes are set up like this. If we go to the drive block, you'll see how the scene is. Scene number 1, you bypass the Klon so you can hear the amp in the cab. Scene 2, it's set it like Bill suggests in his handwritten note. Gain at minimum, treble at noon, level at around 10:30. Scene 3, we boost the level to noon. Scene 4, boost the gain to 9 o'clock. Scene 5, drop the treble down to 11 o'clock. Scene 6, boost the level to 2 o'clock. Scene 7, drop the treble to 10 o'clock. And scene 8 is the fractal defaults. All 3 parameters are at noon. Okay, I added the looper block, then recorded a little riff. Now let's see if the preset needs leveling. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and name the scenes, and then I'll speed that part up so you don't get bored by it. All right, now I'll cycle through the scenes, and we can check out the differences using the little loop that I recorded. So there you have it, guys. The infamous Klon, now living in the Axe FX3 as the Klone Chiron. This is probably the most popular, the most divisive, and the most expensive pedal ever made. It's up to you to decide if it's something actually great or, you know, just another drive or boost pedal. But you'll probably have a lot of fun doing it. Now, back in the day, you know, when I was an amps and pedals guy, I had a few Klon clones myself. The first one was the Electro Harmonic Soul Food. Then, let's see, I got the Archer Icon. And the last one I got was the Mythical Overdrive. Now, I still have the Mythical Overdrive. It is the one pedal that I still have left. I really just haven't sold it yet. I don't use it, but if enough of you guys are interested, leave me a comment and I'll do an A/B video comparing the pedal versus the Klone Chiron. Okay guys, next Wednesday we'll be back at the factory again using the random number generator to choose a preset for us to try out. Now you don't want to miss that, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right guys, see you next Wednesday.